welcome back. My name is Brittany. We're going to Mexico. Woo! I'm so excited! Oh my gosh. We spent the morning just last minute packing, like shower stuff, you know, the things you kind of use before you leave. Did a spray tan, so like this pasty, like Alaskan skin. Like I don't feel so like white on the beach. Then I'm gonna like sunscreen like nobody's business. I was listening to House of Flame and Shadow today while I was getting ready. Almost done. I'm so close to be done with that book. Oh my god, it's taking forever. I did bring Outlawed by Anna North, and then I've got the Hacienda for audio, and what else do I have? I'm hoping my Libby, no, I've got the Murmur of Bees for audio, and then I've got the Hacienda, which hopefully my Libby loan should come through. And then I also like fucked up one of the book club books that I need to read, so I'll be reading a different book, hopefully squeezing a few things in. But yeah, we got a nice long drive ahead of us. We're gonna get some snacks, and then we have like 3 different flights to get to Mexico, so hopefully when I see you, it will be on the beach. Goodbye, Alaska! Oh my gosh, it's so cold out. Holy shit, guys. We made it to the Airbnb. I finished House of Flame and Shadow. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. First on the agenda for tonight, it's like 7:30. We need a shower because we've been traveling for like a day. We're gonna find some food, some tacos. I'll show you our Airbnb more tomorrow. But yeah, and then we're just gonna hopefully find the sunshine and some beach time. So, all right, let's go to dinner. Let's eat. I'm starving. Oh my gosh, we made it to the beach, you guys. I'm so excited. I think I'm already burning. Day 1. That's usually how it goes. I'm pretty fair skinned already, and then just like living in Alaska, like don't have good sun, so I'm usually not very tan. So I finished House Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, and oh man, that was not the vibe. That was not for me. I didn't like it. I'm still trying to just like process what I thought about it, so I can give you some like just a more like concrete, thought out, coherent thoughts about the book, just so it doesn't sound like I'm complaining about her. Compared to her other stuff, I didn't like it as much. I didn't like the world. I didn't like that urban fantasy setting. I didn't really like the characters. There's a lot of characters I just didn't give a shit about. There was some like writing choices and like sentences that had me just fucking rolling my eyes. I thought some of the things that were said were just so annoying. It almost felt like there were points in the book where Sarah was really like leaning into her like tropes and like characterizations to the point where it felt like they were cheesy, almost like she was trying so hard. Like Pollux, for example, he's supposed to be a really bad guy in this world, and like the things that he says, it just seemed so ridiculous. Like he was like, she wrote him like to be the bad guy, like, but was trying so hard. He just felt stupid. Like, I don't know, like he was saying things that he never said earlier on, so then like now when he's saying these like really fucking weird things, you're just like, okay. I don't know. I had to listen to the ending of it a few times because I kept falling asleep on the plane. It just was not good. I really don't know if I'll continue on. Like, that's how much I did not really enjoy the experience. And there's like another part of me that like is just like a little bummed out because like I know what Sarah can write. I know she can do like really good world building and characters, and like I've loved other characters that she's written. I don't know why I didn't connect to these people at all. Like, that, like, boss bitch vibe Bryce is giving off. Like, I don't know if it just wasn't written well or if I'm just over it personally, kind of thing. I don't know. Alright, well, I'm gonna read some more and I'll catch you soon. Bye! Buenos dias! Good morning! This is the best. This is a vibe. I'm like, I don't know how to hammock. Don't know how to sit in these things. So we found some coffee this morning. We're just chilling. Our Airbnb space has like private rooms, and then there's a few like shared spaces. So this is one of them. It's just like a really cool rooftop. Just seating, and another hammock. Oh, super neat. So we just are hiding in the hanging out up here. Enjoying the sun. I did not get burned yesterday and I'm so proud. Hopefully we can like keep that going. So I don't think I've mentioned it, but during one of our flights my Libby hold for The Only One Left by Riley Sager came available, so I just decided to snag it. This is like my chaotic reading plans. Like, I still have an audiobook left over from January I need to finish. I snagged this Riley Sager book, and then I have all the other books for vacation that I talked about in my February TBR that I still want to get to. That's just kind of me. I have like multiple books open at one time and I eventually get to them, so I like bounce around. It's just chaotic. But I did start The Only Ones Left by Riley Sager. I'm already like halfway through. I think I'll be able to finish it pretty quickly. I'm enjoying it. I don't think I'm going to tell you what it's about yet, because I want to know if I enjoyed the experience of going in fairly blind, like when I finish it. Thrillers are hard for me, so I don't pick them up too often, but when I do, I don't really want to know much going in, but then also like when I read a thriller, I'm like instantly like extra critical, I'm like extra inquisitive, and I'm like questioning everybody, and I'm almost like borderline paranoid, because like the point of the thriller is to like be shocked, be surprised, and like have like twists and turns and like, you know, just surprises. And so I feel like sometimes like the authors write in that way, like they write in a way to make everybody suspicious, and then so I'm just like, I know what you're doing. Like, you can't fool me. I don't know, but I will say, so far with The Only One Left, I like the vibes. I think the writing is pretty eerie. Like, it's easy to read, it's pretty quick to get through, but it's definitely eerie. So like the setting, the descriptions of the house that this is taking place in, and just like the main characters, like they're just creepy a little bit. Like I had a hard time just falling asleep last night, and so I just was reading, and I'm just like curled up, like switching between my phone and Kindle, just like scrolling, and I was getting creeped out. It was spooky, so I'm gonna cruise through that some more, and I will update you later. Here is that Airbnb tour I owe you. So this is a little cute kitchenette area. There were some dishes and a cooktop we could have used. Fridge, microwave. I just love the art style in here, the painting and those checkered floors. This is just a really sweet 1-bedroom, 1-bath little apartment that we stayed in for, I think, 5 or 6 nights. A little closet area. And the space was cool because we each had, you know, separate rooms, but you can see here there's a few other doors, and those were other apartment spaces that were rented out. And then in here, this was a shared common space, so there was more kitchen area. I think some beach equipment we could have borrowed. Oh my gosh, more of this fabulous art. I just love how bright and colorful everything in Mexico is. This mural is absolutely gorgeous. Hi again. This mural is so beautiful. I just love her. Oh my gosh. But this, there's that green door, and then there are 2 more spaces, 1 or 2 up and to the left. But again, yeah, that kitchen area, little dining space. And then I'm gonna take you upstairs. Here we go. I just love, like, this little guy you're gonna see at the top of the stairs. All these little trinkets and those little felt hanging things are just so cute. I just love all the little decorations. But this leads to that upper balcony area I was chilling in the hammock on. Ugh, yes, Mexico's always a good idea. 100%. Oh man, it was fun. We chilled up on the space a couple nights when we were kind of just done drinking. We were next to a liquor store, so we would just grab some beers, head up there, just chill when we were wanting something kind of casual and not really wanting to go out to the bar. So this was a really great spot, and I highly recommend. I'm trying to give you a book update, but my vacation partner just got off the fucking booze cruise and heavily enjoyed the included beverages. So he's been so kindly helping me through this little YouTube snippet. Anyways, I owe you a reading update, and I wanted to give one... I wanted to get one earlier, but I got stung by a bee, and I kind of hurt, and then I was freaked out because, like, I didn't know if Mexican bees were bad or not. I don't know, I was scared, and I haven't been stung by a bee in like 25 years. So that just kind of threw me for a trip today. I didn't feel so good after, and then I took Benadryl, so I was super tired, and we just got done with the Rhythm of the Nights excursion, which is a little boat tour. You have dinner, there's a show, and then you take the boat back to the mainland. And that was super fun. Finish The Only One Left by Riley Sager late last night, like 1 in the morning, and I enjoyed it. I think it was a fun time for vacation, and I think it would be a really good fall spooky read too. I think what I enjoyed about it so much was the writing style and like the atmosphere, the vibes. So Kit is taking care of a woman, Lenora Hope, in her home, and Lenora was heavily implicated but never convicted, never found guilty of the murders of her sister, mom, and dad. So Lenora is disabled, she's still in her home, and Kit is like moving in as a caregiver to help take care of her in the same house where all these deaths happened. So A little creepy. I thought that part was written really well, because no matter, like, in healthcare, you're supposed to treat everybody objectively, but kind of at the end of the day, like, we're all people, and, like, Kit struggles with that, like, trying to care for Lenora, but, like, wanting to know what happened, but, like, not wanting to know, but then, like, trying to, like, treat her like a normal person. So I thought that was done really well. The house itself is also super creepy. It almost felt like its own kind of entity in a way, because it's, like, on the edge of a cliff, and, like, things are crumbling, and, like, the upper levels are super tilted, so it feels like you're reading and it feels like the house is gonna fall any second. So I really like those parts of it. The ending, probably like the last 100 pages though, there's probably like 10 different like twists and turns, and I enjoyed most of them. I'm kind of in the minority, it seems like, on Goodreads about the ending of the book. There was a few twists I could have done without, but overall I did like some of the big reveals. The tone, yeah, just, it was a really good time. It was kind of a fun read, so that is my second book for vacation. We're on a horse tour right now, and I'm really trying to channel my inner warrior fantasy character. And my legs are after like 20 minutes, so gotta work on that. My horse's name is Abuelo, and he is the best boy. It's been really fun. We're just chilling here on the Malecon, drinking a Jamaica tea. 60 pesos, less than $4 for a giant tea. Jamaica is hibiscus, and it's so delicious. If you come, you have to try it. We are switching from Casa Maria to Los Arcos Hotel, which is up this way. I don't know how this is gonna flip, but it's about a mile away, and we're just walking because it's nice out, and I don't know, just to see more stuff. So here's to the next place. Woo! Back at it again with another voiceover. This is the view from our floor. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I love seeing the ocean and the boats in the background. This is when you first walk into our hotel room. So again, another kitchen space with a fridge. There was like pots and pans in here, which was pretty cool. We took advantage of all the street vendors, so we did not use it, but it was a nice option to have a kitchen space if we wanted. Just a single bathroom, nice little getting ready space, and then, yep, there's the toilet. Everything was really nice and clean, actually. And then here is the bedroom. I love all the art. Again, just all the art and architecture in Mexico, so beautiful. And then this is a little bit of the view on the other side of our room, looking down over the pool, the bar, and just kind of the other side there of those rooms. So a really beautiful space. This is down from the pool, and I just love all the greenery, the waterfall. Oh my gosh, it was such a gorgeous place. Hello! We are at our next location. Oh my gosh. So we left our Airbnb today, and now we're staying at Los Arcos Hotel. It was like less than a mile, so we just powered through and walked. Hopefully by now you've seen some B-roll of horseback riding, tacos, probably some shopping. So just a couple of vacation updates. We went on a horseback riding tour. It was about 3 miles up into the mountains, and that was so fun. We got to spend about an hour on the horse. We took a break halfway through for like a little spring, a little water break, and then we kept going, and the horses went back down, and we crossed a really long sky bridge. And that was very challenging. I kept telling my husband I was really trying to like channel my inner fantasy character, because like every hero like travels across the lands for like weeks and months at a time, right? Like they're riding all day, and that was really hard. My legs were so sore, and like getting on and off the horse, like you're just stiff, and crossing the sky bridge after being so stiff made you like extra wobbly. But it was fun. It was a really good time. It was so sunny and warm, and like I had the best horse. His name was Abuelo, my grandpa, and he was so sweet. He was such a good boy. My husband's horse was like the teenager. We were like we were all trying to stay in a straight line as we were riding our horses. But Matt's horse would just like intermittently take off and just weave wherever he wanted. He was like biting the other horses' butts, and then like would just stop and like grab a bunch of trees. It was so naughty. It was pretty funny. Later that night though, unfortunately, my tummy hurt a little bit, so I ended up just like keeping it casual, keeping it chill, and then thankfully I felt good enough, because last night we did a taco tour. We did a guided food tour. We stopped at like 5 or 6 different taco places, 2 desserts. It was so good. We had some like the best street side cart tacos, which is like kind of what we wanted out of this experience. And it was oh man, there's definitely a few places we were like, we're gonna go back to. So I'm so glad I was feeling better for that. But like I mentioned, we're at Los Arcos now, our hotel, just to kind of get a feel of both an Airbnb and a hotel stay. The only other things we have planned this week for activities is golf and then the Super Bowl. My husband's a golfer. I'll just be driving the caddy. I'm there for moral support. Yeah, I think it'll be super fun. We're pretty much just going to be beach bums the rest of the time, which means lots of reading, drinks, and naps. Lots of siestas. I have a reading update though about the Hacienda. So I'm like almost 150 pages in, close to halfway through, and I'm really liking it. The story, like the pacing of it, moves pretty fast. We are following 2 characters, Beatrice and Andreas. Beatrice has moved into her new home. She's married Berfaldo, and she's just met Andreas, who used to live there and is now working to become a priest. And the house has already been creepy. Bad things have already happened to Beatrice. There's already a lot of like tension and questions as to like what happened, and like what do people know in the house, and like she's so left out of what's happened. I don't know, it's been interesting, a little spooky. But I'm liking it. Another cool thing is like when you read on Kindle, you can like search words with your Wikipedia, but you can also translate. So I think the author did a really nice job of mixing Spanish and English together. She'll say the word in Spanish, and then we'll like describe it again in English, but the way it flows is very nice. It doesn't feel like repetitive, or like the story isn't breaking from those explanations, if that makes sense. But there's a few words every now and then I'm just not sure about, and so you can, like, I just am using my Kindle to like open up extra info, and that's been really cool. But yeah, I'm excited. I kind of like this like strange spooky vibe train we've been on for vacation, and hopefully I'll have an update for you soon. I think, depending on how much reading I do today, maybe I can finish it, or finish early tomorrow, and then we're on to the next one. Hello! Oh my gosh, we had so much fun yesterday. So we spent the pretty much whole day beachside with the loungers. We had drinks brought to us all day. We got nachos on the beach. That was so delicious. I was drinking these things called Dirty Monkeys, and it was like a coffee, banana, chocolate, liqueur, like delicious blended thing. So good. I had a couple, if I'm being honest. I did finally get burnt. It happened. Ugh, it hurts. And then we also, I got massaged by Coco, the grandma. she did my shoulders and she did my feet, and it felt so good. Oh my gosh. And then we went to Senior Frogs for the Super Bowl, and that was nuts. Like that was party time. That was fun. So yeah, it was a really fun day yesterday. Reading update though. I finished the Hacienda early yesterday morning before we had gone down to the beach, and I really liked it. It was super good. I can't remember I think I've kind of described the plot a little, but Beatrice marries Rafaldo, moves into his home to kind of escape her own like problems, kind of like living situations, and the house is not happy she's there. It is not very welcoming of her moving in, and things quickly get creepy. They get scary really fast. I personally wasn't scared. I was definitely creeped out. It was definitely strange. But I wouldn't say like I was super scared at all, but I don't know if I've ever really been scared while reading. But it is described as a horror. The people in the house also were like pretty creepy. I can see the relationship, the comp titles are Rebecca in Mexican Gothic. I can definitely see that with Mexican Gothic for sure. There's really beautiful descriptions. I thought the author's writing was really beautiful too. Some really powerful quotes, and just kind of like one-liners. The ending, like, I mean, I was suspicious of like everything and everyone going into it, but I liked how, like, I liked when you figure out what's happening. Like, I liked that because it made sense, even though it's still kind of like supernatural and strange. But it wasn't too off the wall for me to like not get behind. The ending also, like, there's some things left unanswered, maybe some things not resolved, but it was still satisfying. Like, we didn't need like a bow and like a pretty package on the end of the book. I liked the way it ended. Yeah, I finished the Hacienda, and then I didn't realize, but Isabel Cañas also wrote Vampires of El Norte, which came out last year, that I've been really wanting to check out. I like almost picked it up because I liked her writing and like storytelling style so much. But I did decide to stick with The Murmur of Bees by Sofia Segovia. So I started that yesterday. I'm already like almost 10 chapters in or something, and I'm liking that one too. Both books have really beautiful descriptions, Spanish words. I really like the common themes within each book about like families living in homes for like multiple generations, or like the houses themselves like having their own like personalities even. That's been really cool. So in The Murmur of Bees, we just learned about Nana Reja. She was kind of on like, her and her baby were kind of like on death's doorsteps. They show up to this town. She loses her baby, but is able to be a wet nurse for another child who lost his mother. And so she ends up becoming like a wet nurse for the community and helps raise and save a ton of babies. And now she's a very elderly woman. She just sits in her rocking chair, and one day she just like disappears, and they find her in the woods holding a baby covered in bees. So that's kind of just like where the story started to take off at. It is kind of, I don't know how many perspectives, but we are bouncing around a little bit with different perspectives, and that's been okay. It hasn't been too hard to follow. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that so far, and I'm hoping I'll get some good pages in. My husband's golfing today, and I just plan on like chilling in the car, hopefully. Maybe hiding from the sun a little, maybe drinking some drinks, and yeah, it'll be a good time. Hello from the beach. Happy / sad last day in Mexico. I don't want to go home. It was funny. I guess it's been like kind of sunny and like 40 degrees at home, and like the last few days here have been rainy. So that is what it is. Probably a good thing, because the days it rained is when we plan to do like full beach days. And it's probably good it was not super nice out, because we totally would have fried like so bad. Way around it. We spent the last couple days just trying to sit outside when we can, walking around, shopping, going to more taco carts, going to more like hole-in-the-wall restaurants. That's been so fun. I can't remember, did I do a post-golf update? I can't remember. But golfing was fun for my husband. It was fun for me too, but it was more like a safari. The golf course we went to was really cool. There's a bunch of water features. There was a bunch of wildlife. So I was like spotting birds, crocs. I found a turtle or a tortoise. Some really neat critters while golfing. That was what I did. And I think I'm like 200 pages or so into the Murmur of Bees. Like I'm close to halfway. And I'm really liking it. It's written so beautifully. There's so many really powerful moments and quotes, and I like it is multi-perspective. We're following another Beatrice and her husband, their son. We occasionally follow Simano Pio, the child with the bees, and then like we'll sometimes bounce around to other perspectives too. But this takes place in like the 1920s, around the Mexican War for Independence, and then they also just had the Spanish influenza, and so that was really interesting because like things shut down, like trade shut down, like they all quarantined. It was really interesting, like also being post-pandemic, to like see that the same thing essentially happened in the older days. But yeah, I like how it's written. It's just really beautiful. Simano Pio has like shown a few of his like powers already. It was super neat. I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully I can finish on our travels home. Buenos noches! It's our last night. We just had one final round of tacos from the cart, like across the street from the hotel. Oh, so good. I really like the volcanes. It's like a crispy corn shell with cheese, and then I get al pastor, so the meat that's on the thing, and they shave it. Pineapple con todo with everything. Cilantro, onions, cucumber, and then I like the green, like guacamole drizzle sauce. It's not really a salsa because it's not spicy. I don't actually know what's in it, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. We spent the day at the beach. We found a bunch of drinks. We walked around and we found a bookstore. I'm so excited. Okay, I switched to locations briefly because the AC was blowing and I felt like I was yelling. But we found a bookstore called A Page in the Sun. There haven't been a lot of bookstores around in like the areas we've been staying, so it was cool to find this one. It was a cafe. We got hot chocolate, and then there's also like a bunch of art for sale. And then there's a guy like working on a sculpture, and he like gave my husband and I a piece of clay to like be a piece of the art. So it was really cool. But I found this book. That's the Bookaroni. I feel like I really need like two hands, but like, it's like the best like floppy yellowish book. It's The Labyrinth of Spirits by Carlos Ruiz Zafran. And I did not realize this, but he is the same author of Shadow of the Wind, which I've heard a lot about. I don't know much about it, just that I've like heard about it. But I've heard that it's also a really frustrating book to read because there's a lot to figure out. But this book, The Labyrinth of Spirits, is part of the series, and you can read each book in any order independently, and you basically like also figure out the story. Let me find the little thing it said. It was cool. So it's called, the series is The Cemetery of Forgotten Books. Although each work within the cycle presents an independent, self-contained tale, they are all connected through characters and storylines, creating thematic and narrative links. Each individual installment of in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books can be read in any order, separately, enabling the reader to explore the labyrinth of stories along the different paths that, when woven together, lead into the heart of the narrative. Hopefully that made sense. That was too many tacos and too many margaritas deep, but hopefully that made sense. But I'm excited to find this. I think it's like a cool like souvenir to have, a book versus, I mean, we did get the magnets and we got a few other things, but it's just neat. And I'll remember that I picked this up in Mexico, so. We're back in Alaska. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so tired. We had 3 flights from Mexico to San Francisco to, I already forgot, Portland, and then like our Portland to Anchorage flight was like fucking loading up. Oh gosh, there were like 4 to 3 hours, and then just like all the taxi time and stuff. There's a lot. I did finish the Murmur of Bees on the plane, and I cried. It's super good. So sometime tomorrow, oh, this is so good. Oh my God. Sometime tomorrow or the next day, I will do just like a closeout, tell you a little bit more about it. Oh, it's actually not bad. It was like 22 degrees out. This is great. It's 22 Fahrenheit. We did leave like 80-degree weather, but it's not as cold as when we left. So I'll take that as a win. I think my somewhat tan freckles are already like withering away. Anyways, tired, sleepy rambles. We still have a 4-hour drive until we're home, but oh God, we can do this. What time is it? My dash says 3:48 p.m. That's definitely not correct. It's 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, getting home around 5 kind of sounds about right. It's not snowing, and they had a bit of a warm snap while we were gone, so I'm hoping the roads won't be too bad. And now we have a nice, easy, quick drive home. Oh my gosh, we're back. We're home. We got in yesterday morning after flying and driving about 5 a.m. The roads were great. It was an easy drive home. Oh man, we were so tired. So tired. I ended up dozing a little bit on the way home and then like napped for a couple hours. I like randomly woke up at like 8 or 9 and was like, ugh, I just got up. Cause it's like, if I like would have kept sleeping, I think I would have just like slept till like 2 p.m. and then like been up all night and then have to like start all over. So I did it. Slept okay last night, but again woke up like really early, and so like trying to stay awake. I can do this. So you get me in sweatpants. I threw my little Red Rising shirt on for a little bookish, cozy, casual outfit. I'm happy to be home though. I do like our house. I missed our puppies. I really missed our dogs. We have the rest of today, maybe one more day to just chill, work off that jet lag. I need groceries, you know, before we start our work week and adulting again. But I just wanted to close out this vacation vlog and give you my final thoughts on The Murmur of Bees by Sofia Segovia, or El Murmullo de las Abejas. See? I really tried to practice my Spanish, but I had some rough patches. I definitely need to work on that. But The Murmur of Bees, I mentioned in my February TBR I would maybe listen to the audiobook, and I forgot my headphone charger. Of all the things I like packed and checked and did, I forgot my headphone charger last minute. But then I was just hanging out with my husband and there wasn't a lot of time to just like tune out like and listen to something, so I did not listen to that audiobook. I listened to little bits of it, and I really like the narrators' voices. So I think it would be a good option. It was a dual narrator novel, so if that interests you, still check it out. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it, and it almost feels like a little like hidden treasure. There's about like 63,000 reviews on Goodreads for it, but at least with the YouTube I watch, like the book TikToks I see, and just like what my friends read in real life, I haven't really seen this book talked about, so it does feel like a little gift to bring to your bookshelves maybe. And I'm glad I stuck with it. I still want to check out Vampires of El Norte by Elizabeth Cañas, but I'm glad I like stuck with the books I picked. I'm really happy with the choices and how the reading turned out on vacation. The Murmur of Bees, like the book description, kind of like tells you a little bit, but I almost feel like it's kind of vague, and like sometimes I go back and forth where I don't want to know anything about a book going in, or I just need to know like 2 sentences, or like the back of the book doesn't fit maybe what like I got out of the story, if that makes sense. So the Murmur of Bees, I would say, is a historical fiction. There's an author's note at the end, and she mentions, you know, where she took her inspiration from. She does say she changed some dates of things, and, you know, it's not historically accurate all the way, but this is in the same time era as the Hacienda, the 1920s, following the Mexican War for Independence and the Spanish influenza. I thought both books really complemented each other nicely, being in that same time frame. But it's definitely like a generational story. We meet Nana Reja, who saves Samano Pio, the baby covered in bees, and you see how her story affects the lives of everyone else you meet. But then you start to follow more than one character. So you follow Francisco and Beatriz, who are the landowners, and they end up becoming Samano Pio's godmother and godfather. And like, I don't know exactly what this, like what Sofia Segovia's storytelling style is called, but we would bounce around to different perspectives. So like we would be following Francisco, for example, and he would be like kind of going on about whatever was happening in the story, and then maybe he would bring up his wife Beatriz, and then we would almost like get Beatrice's insight without switching characters. Like there was a very seamless way of how we would get Francisco's inner mind about a situation, go to Beatrice, but then come back to Francisco. Like it would still be his chapter in a way. And I thought that was done really well. I'm not sure exactly what that writing style is called, but a lot of chapters were like that, where they just kind of like ebbed and flowed, but it all came together either by the end of the chapter or like a few chapters later. And we also got a really cool perspective. Like one of the perspectives we meet is one of Francisco and Beatrice's child, but we're getting him from the future. So we know there's a baby about to be born. Like we know at some point he enters a story, but we get his adult futuristic narrative a few times too before he finally comes in. And that was really cool. I did like that. There's another author who's done that like future narrator style, and I think it just adds a really cool element to the storytelling. I think it's my first translated novel that I've read, and I gotta shout out the translator too, Simon Bruni. I don't know, like I can't read the Spanish version of this book, so I'm not sure exactly how accurate it is, but I feel like the translation, like what I read in English, was really well done. It flowed, like there was no like strange continuity problems or like context. I don't know, I thought it was great, and I'm really glad it was translated to English. I feel like fortunate to have read that story. I have a few quotes that I thought were just really great. There's like a really strong like family presence like within Mexican culture, it seems. Like I mentioned earlier, families living in the same home for many years, like the sense of duty, like you grow up, you go to the like social events, or you like court, you get married, you start having lots of babies. Like that's just a very important part of their culture, and I liked that because you navigate motherhood in a few different ways throughout the story, and that being one of them. So this section is about Beatriz and like the war and the influenza has like essentially just destroyed kind of what social life there was in their town of Linares. And she's thinking about her daughters like not being able to like go to these balls in court, and so she's trying to like establish this again. And this one was really powerful. It just says, how could one generation look the next in the eye and say, one of the few things I took for granted that I will pass on to you, I have allowed to die. Like when you think about like important traditions and stuff, like, I don't know, I liked that one. So I liked this quote. It was really funny. So this is about Beatrice's daughters. Meanwhile, Carmen and Consuelo went through various states of mind. Sometimes they were happy, sometimes they were sad. Sometimes they cried without any provocation whatsoever. At other times they screamed with fury at some offense, real or imagined, but then returned to being complicit in a secret that made them double up with laughter. Worst of all was when we went through all of these states in a single day. Francisco would rather smell the charred hair and flesh of cows he branded than try to decipher each change of tone or look in his daughter's eyes. Well, that was really funny. It was like when they go through it all the day. That's what got me. Oh, I liked this one. There, like, I almost felt like there were just so many little like snippets and moments that characters went through towards like, oh, like I've felt that, like I can relate to that experience. So this one, it's kind of like in the middle of like a little bit of a quote, but Francisco is reflecting on like how he's tried to protect his family, but like something bad has happened, and so now he's like dealing with that. Had he thought himself immune deep down? Had he, in his arrogance, come to believe that certain situations always happen to others and not to his own people? Like, I feel that. Like, sometimes you like see bad stuff happening and you're like, oh, like, good thing it's not me. And like, you almost feel like sometimes you're in your own little bubble, and then when things do happen to you, you're like, not fuck. Like, sweet. There was a lot of like just really beautiful moments in this story. I wasn't sure when I like read the back of the book before I got into it. I wasn't sure if the bees around Samano Pio would be real or if it would be more of like a metaphor for like something else. Like, I don't know, I can't even think of an example, but they were real. So it is historical fiction with some like facts and dates changed, but it does follow those events I mentioned. And the bees themselves, like, I don't know if you'd say like a magical element, but like there is more of like a connected magic to the bees and Samano Pio. Like he can hear them and he can like feel the earth and like listen to the winds and like know what's happening. So that is more of like the magical realism like side of things, but the bees are real. I think it was funny, not funny, that I got stung by a bee and then I read a book called The Murmur of Bees, but whatever. It ended well. I did cry at the end on the plane, so I'm just like curled up in the seat, like trying to like not disturb anybody. Yeah, I had a good ending. I did feel really connected to all these characters, and I think it's because you spend so much time with them. Like you meet kind of everyone, like from page one with Nana Reha, and you see like all these like life paths meet. I don't know what else to say. I really liked it. If it sounds good, check it out. There's another book by Sofia Segovia, translated again by Simon Bruni, that I do want to check out. I think I might throw that on my March TBR. And it was a perfect, I don't know, it might be like Mexico vacation, like recency bias, but I really liked it. We have another vacation in May for some music. I'm so excited. And I think I'm gonna try to do this again where I pick books kind of, you know, inspired or like related to the places we're going. I've tried to look up books for Vegas and I'm kind of struggling a little bit, so if you have any suggestions, let me know. I would greatly appreciate your help. And I'm also curious, like, have you ever, like, you know, I know people like to bring books on vacation. Like I saw so many people reading while we were there, but have you ever like done what I did where you are going to a place and you pick up books about that place or like written from authors from that place? Like, do you ever like plan that much? If so, I want to know your favorite like vacation spot and book combination. I think that would be super fun. And if not, I like check it out. It was a really good time. And now when I think about those books, I'll just like have those memories associated with Mexico. And I'll just I'll just like remember it fondly. Thank you so much for coming on vacation, for reading. If you have any questions too, I'm here to help. I did leave a bunch of timestamps. I left a bunch of links in the description box for the excursions and things that we did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.